you're only as good as your mindset. And when I realized that and realized that I was getting stuck in this negative loop that was preventing me from even living the life of my dreams or going after what I'm passionate about, I was like, I have got to change this because this is not what I want to stay stuck in. I don't want to stay stuck doing this.
Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the quantum coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this.
Hey, Danielle, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm excited. So obviously I just did like a little intro of you, but would love for you to kind of just jump in and share about who you are and just how you came to where you are today, being a spiritual biz coach and working with women to help them create their dream businesses.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So as you know, my name is Danielle Klein. I am a spiritual life and business coach. I specialize in helping wellness entrepreneurs, so Reiki healers, yoga teachers, meditation teachers, breathwork facilitators, retreat leaders, health and wellness entrepreneurs that have the mission to make bigger impacts on this planet to help heal others. And I specialize in helping them start, grow, and scale their online business because it's a tough world out there. And I've been there from the very beginning and launching into the health and wellness world. And it can get lost and you can get nervous and have self-doubt come in and limiting beliefs come in and really prevent you from creating it. So, and that's actually what happened to me. And that's why I became so passionate about helping health and wellness leaders break out of their shell and be unstoppable in creating their business.
Awesome. What happened to you that was like, because I know you were teaching like a ton of fitness classes. You were like all over the place. I know that you teach meditation. Like, what was it that said like that made you say like, I'm gonna bring my business online and help other people do that too?
Yeah, great question. So yes, I was all over the place for a while, teaching yoga, teaching meditation, helping people with meal planning and meal prep, and all over the place with all of that. And I just thought I need to really just structure my business in a way that I'm not extending out and depleting my energy with all of these classes all the time. And I kind of did the numbers and thought, okay, I would have to teach like 30 classes a week to make the amount that I really want to be successful. So how can I scale this? How can I create a business that I'm still teaching the things I'm passionate about and teaching what I know, but structuring it in a way that my energy is still high and I feel good and I could still live life and have freedom to live life. And then that's when I actually signed up for your mastermind, and which was absolutely incredible. And it really helped me narrow down my business and what I was doing. And so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And if you have not yet taken her mastermind, highly recommend it. Life-changing.
And it's interesting though, because like you came into the mastermind, you're like, but I am multi-passionate, right? Like you were just saying, you were teaching, you were teaching classes, but you're also helping people with their nutrition and their fitness. And like, I know that you also did essential oils and like you had all these passions And we were just kind of like, well, what are you going to do with all these passions? Let's make it into one thing. You know, it doesn't have to be separate.
Exactly. Yeah, you gave me so much clarity and confidence, so I appreciate you.
I appreciate you because you were like, you were just like, like you've grown so much. You've grown so much, and now you help women do the same exact thing, and it's like incredible, like the ripple effect, you know. So I'm sure there's people listening that are like, oh my gosh, this is me. I am teaching classes. I'm depleted, because that was me also. I was doing the same thing. I was running around like a crazy chicken with a head cut off, and I was just like, I'm exhausted and I don't know what to do about it. So as you kind of made the transition online and started putting yourself out there, what did you notice was the first immediate shift? Like, and what internal shifts did you have to make in your own mindset to make it work? Because it doesn't always work right away. You make a decision to go online, and then you're like, okay, I put myself out there for a week, and you're not getting anything, right?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Okay, so before I even found you online and found your mastermind to even take, I had this aha moment in my mindset where I was getting stuck in my own limiting beliefs for a long time, saying, well, I'm not as good as this person, or I'm not as experienced, or I don't have that type of certification, or, oh, that's going to cost too much. You know, all of these different limiting beliefs. And really, you're only as good as your mindset. And when I realized that, and realized that I was getting stuck in this negative loop that was preventing me from even living the life of my dreams or going after what I'm passionate about, I was like, I have got to change this, because this is not what I want to stay stuck in. I don't want to stay stuck doing this. And I really was looking, there's two ways to look at social media. One is inspiration, and the other is comparison, which is the negative downward spiral. I was looking at it as inspiration, but I also was getting stuck in the comparison of, I'm not good enough. I'm not like them. Gosh, I'm looking at their chapter 20 of their life and comparing it to my like chapter 4 of my life and business. And getting stuck in that comparison, I'm like, it's consistency that's key in having them show up and do the work and everything like that. But I wasn't even being consistent yet. I wasn't being consistent with my business or how I was showing up. And I was getting those limiting beliefs in my mindset that were saying, you know, in that negative loop, basically. And when you get into that negative loop, your thoughts create the feelings create more thoughts, and you just get into that literal loop. And that's what I mean by loop, for those of you who don't know. Because whatever your thought is, it changes your cortisol levels in your body, whether it's stress hormones that are released, or anger or frustration, or whatever it might be. It creates feelings. And then your feelings are energy in motion. And then that creates more thoughts. And so if you're getting stuck in the negative mindset of self-doubt, it's literally going to freeze you in your place. It's going to prevent you from doing anything. So when I was looking at social media, going back to social media, I was getting inspired, but then getting stuck in my negative loop. But then I finally hit this aha moment of, if I want to be like them, I have to break through this negative belief that I'm not good enough. And I started seeing certain coaches and seeing people online share different things. I was like, I know all of this. And that was it. That was the final aha moment of, I know everything that they're doing, everything that they're sharing. Like, I've already learned this. Why am I not on the other side teaching this? So now I was like, okay, I need to break through these beliefs and just go for it, and just get outside of my comfort zone and create that business. Because if I continue to stay in the negative mindset, where will I be in 10 years? Where will I be in 20 years? And when I visually saw that, and I was like, oh, not where I want to be. Okay, then I got to change. And that's where it has to start, is we have to be aware of what the thoughts are and be willing to change.
That is so powerful. I love that you just shared all of that. Thank you. It's so true. And there's a lot of self-awareness that went into that, right? Like for you to kind of look at yourself objectively and to say, what am I thinking? How am I looking at Instagram? How am I looking at these beliefs? What am I thinking? And just like really breaking it down for yourself to want to make that shift for yourself is so key. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And I think when we want to make a change, it's based on two sides. It's either we want to change because we're so passionate about that result and outcome. We're like, yes, I'm ready for it. And I'm ready to go all in. Or we are passionate about the change and want to make the changes in our life because we are so fed up with the pain and suffering that we've caused ourselves for so long. And I had a mixture of both.
It's more so that for most people, I think it's like what makes people change is really pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. And I didn't want to be stuck in that anymore. I didn't want to be stuck and it's only us. We make ourselves suffer. It's our mindset, whatever we focus on. So I didn't want to see myself suffering in that way, being in that negative loop anymore, you know? And especially when I start thinking about like, I want to have kids eventually, and I want to be a good role model for them. I don't want them to learn how to be stuck in their limiting beliefs. I want to be the role model and leader that says to them, like, follow your dreams, follow your passions. You could do whatever you want. Put your mind to it. You got this, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's bigger than you.
Yeah. And sending out that legacy, you know, for our families and also the communities that we're in, being able to be that role model.
I think the mindset piece is, I know you're so passionate about, as am I, it's so key in literally any area of life. But it's also, you know, we were at the QC Live event, we were talking about like generational healing. It's also, like you're saying, it's actually generationally healing. Like, so as you're healing your limiting beliefs and what's coming up for you, your children are going to be directly impacted, but it also goes both ways. It's like your children, and then it's also like your mom and your mom's mom, and like goes back generations. So you're healing the whole lineage.
Yes. I love that. Yeah, it really is that ripple effect of going back and changing everything, and it's up to us to change the trajectory of where we're headed.
Yes. Wow. So good. So good. So once you kind of recognize that and you were like, I'm going to do something about this, you invested in yourself, you joined the mastermind, which was awesome. And after that, you kind of started scaling. Share about that. Because I know at every level, there's like a mindset.
Oh yeah. Big time. Every time that you level up in your business, the mindset's going to show up. The mindset's going to say, you're not ready for this. This is too scary. This doesn't feel right. Like all that good stuff. Because you're breaking outside your comfort zone. Anytime that you're trying something new, going for a goal, you're breaking outside your comfort zone, and it's going to feel scary.
And I think in your life too, because like I know you've made big life transitions too. Like you were living in San Francisco and you moved to Colorado and you bought your dream home. Like, did the same thing come up for you around that, or was that easier for you? Like, as opposed to like business? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mindset definitely came up there of, is this a good choice? Are we going to meet new friends that are like-minded? Are we going to be able to afford this financially in the long term? Is this going to be a good opportunity for us? Are we going to wish that we would have stayed here? You know, all of those crazy thoughts that come in. And especially when you start looking at, like we were renting in San Francisco and then looking at buying something, the money mindset comes in. Like, is this financially going to be stable, or can we afford this? Or this is a big chunk all up front, even though the monthly payment is lower later on. Like, is that what we should do? And the money gremlin that comes in and everything. But you know what? When you look at, I always look at pros and cons of everything, and the cons it's just too many to stay in San Francisco for us. Like we love nature. I love privacy and space. I don't like to be confined in a small area. Like I love just the expansiveness of the mountains. Like I get to look at them right now outside my window and how beautiful that is. So all the scary stuff, even though it was new territory for us to buy a home, first time home buyers, it was totally worth it. And just busting through that, the safety net that we create. I talk about that sometimes with my clients is whenever we have a limiting belief, the limiting belief has a deeply rooted fear underneath of it. And the fear is often a safety net to keep us in our comfort zone. So for instance, when I was afraid to really put the financial, make that financial leap and put it out there, I was afraid that we would lose everything. I was afraid, like, what if we became homeless? What if we couldn't pay the mortgage? Like all of these crazy things, this crazy story that I would create in my head that 100% wasn't true would make me be fearful. And the safety net was, okay, I don't want to do it so that I can stay safe and I feel like everything's in control and I know everything, because that's what a comfort zone is. Comfort zone is everything you already know. And if you don't break out of your comfort zone, then you're not going to have this like unlimited possibilities open up to you. So, yeah.
And that's for everything in life. That's for scaling your business and taking it to another level, or buying your dream home or buying your dream car or meeting a partner. Like literally anything is going to require you to get out of the comfort zone. What would you say are some of your biggest tips to help people get outside of their comfort zone?
Yeah, I actually there was this recent post I created and I have it up here because I wanted to share it. This is like a 6-step process that I have done personally and that my clients have done and love to break out of the limiting beliefs or self-doubt or comfort zone. And the first thing is, like we mentioned right in the beginning, was awareness, like being aware of what your limiting beliefs are. You have to be real and raw with yourself and honest with yourself about what they are. And identify that, because you have to identify the problem before you can solve the problem. And that's the problem, is the limiting belief. So confronting it, being aware with it. The second thing is, what is it doing for you? Like, are you playing victim role or is it a safety net? What is a limiting belief doing for you? And is there a deeply rooted fear underneath of it? And really facing that, because that's going to be the root of why it's surfacing. Like, where is this coming from? Once you know where it's coming from, step 3 is your future self. Visualize yourself 10 years, 20 years from now. If you still believed those limiting beliefs, what would your life be like? And what are you missing out on believing it? Like, what is it costing you? That was a big one for me too. Like seeing, what am I missing out on? And then number 4 is, this one's pretty funny, but like breaking up with your toxic limiting belief as if it's a toxic relationship, knowing that it is not serving you. It's holding you back. It's holding you down. It's suppressing you. It's hindering you from truly living life and going after what you really want. So really recognizing that and run away from that, because you know it's so toxic for you. Why would you keep doing something that's toxic for you? When you think about your favorite person in the world, would you want them to believe that limiting belief and live like that? No, definitely not. And we have to love ourselves and honor ourselves enough to not do that either. And then number 5 is creating a new belief. What is the new belief that I want to say to myself that's empowering me instead of disempowering me? And that's why I love affirmations and incantations, because they really shift your mindset. Like, affirmations are a positive statements. They're positive statements in the present tense terms in a personal way that are going to shift your mindset and focusing on something that's uplifting you and building you up, bringing you confidence rather than tearing you down. And that's a big one for me because our self-dialogue is everything.
So
Our self-dialogue really creates our whole life. What are we telling ourselves every day? So creating that new belief is basically setting yourself up with a new positive self-talk, positive self-dialogue. And then number 6 is train. And train, I mean by this, and I learned this from Joe Dispenza from when I took a workshop with him back in high school. My mom brought me to one, and it was awesome. Yeah, I would love to go to another one of his workshops or retreats. So good. All of his books are amazing. Okay, so train. And this is anytime a limiting belief comes into your mind that you literally say no or stop out loud. And it becomes a non-negotiable. And this is why. Non-negotiable means every time that you recognize that limiting belief, you say no or say stop 100%. Even if you're around other people, even if you're by yourself, it doesn't matter, you do it. And it's training your body, it's rewiring your brain to stop that pattern. Because if we've had that pattern for many years, the pattern is sometimes hard to break, not impossible, but it's been in that autopilot loop for a long time. So you have to disrupt it with something really crazy so that you feel strange when you do it, so that you disrupt the neural passageways and that you create a new set of pattern by then saying the new positive statement.
These are so good. These are amazing. Yeah, I love, they're all such different takes on it too. Like so many different like things to work on in these 6. Is that, there's 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the power of disruption. Like that's been huge for me on my journey of, I think when you first start learning about manifestation and law of attraction and limiting beliefs and mindset and all of it, there's a like a training period, literally a training period. And I remember just training my brain. Like I would just pay attention with that awareness as step 1. And I'd be like, what am I thinking? What am I saying to myself? Like they tell you not to monitor all your thoughts or whatever. But I mean, once you become aware of your thoughts, it sounds so like elementary to say that, like, but it's so true. Once you become aware of your thoughts, you want to disrupt them. I know I did when I first started learning about the power of my mind and my words and all of that. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah. Because the moment that you become aware of the negative loop, you're like, oh my God, this has got to go. This is not helping me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think like as you start to, everyone's listening is on a different journey right now. And you might be in a different place where you've been like, oh, okay, I've been in this training for a while. I'm really starting to see the difference in my mindset. And some of you might be in a place where when you are past that point, like, yeah, we're always aware, we're always looking at ourselves, but I don't have to focus on what I want 100%. Like, I don't have to say what I desire 50 million times during the day for it to manifest anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I trust that it's there. I don't have to say it 1,000 times. I don't need a ritual around it as much as you grow into it. But everyone's different.
Yes, definitely. And on the topic of manifesting, whenever you're manifesting and something's not happening, this is like a really good 6 set of steps to really surface what is your block, because you got to be aware of it. And then why is it there? And then like, if you continue this, what's doing for you, and really creating that new belief so that you can then powerfully manifest, because we all have had blocks in our life and they're going to come and go. So yeah, this is like a constant process to have with you at all times, really.
It really is. This is so good. And this is on your Instagram?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. We'll link that up. We'll link the post up for you guys so you can read it and like it and follow Danielle. So once you are, this work is continual, right? Mm-hmm. Where would you say you are right now in regards to this? Like what would you say at the level that you are, or the version that you are? I'm trying to get rid of levels. At the version of who you are right now, what would you say the biggest thing is that you're working through?
I would say,
You don't
yeah.
have to. If you want to.
Let's see. So the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is two things. One is the overwhelm of too many things at once in my business, and just taking it, reminding myself, okay, look at one step, not the whole staircase, like
Yes.
one step at a time. Because when our mindset goes into, oh my gosh, all of these things, it creates anxiety. But if we can hone in on, let's just focus on the one thing I need to do next. And then once I get that accomplished, then you start to build confidence in yourself and build trust in yourself that you can do it, and that every step is actually easy once you look at it as one step at a time. And then the other thing that I'm working through right now, I would say, this is a resurfacing one. This one circulates all the time. And it's, am I being seen and heard? Is my message coming across? Is it helpful? Is it helpful? Am I, always needing that kind of reassurance that yes, you're doing a great job kind of thing, or yes, I hear you, or yes, this makes sense. For some reason, I always need that reassurance. And this is for a whole nother topic, but that's like a love language of affirmation, praise, having those words of affirmation that really help you feel more confident. So sometimes I need to ask people, like, does this make sense? Am I doing this right?
Yes. I think that's a huge, I used to ask myself that all the time. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? That's the thing with entrepreneurship. There is no one way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one way. And it's like, it's frustrating sometimes because you're like, I just want to know the way. But like, it's your way.
That's what's so empowering, though. And what I love about it is because there's so much freedom. I don't have to be in between any lines of anything. Like, I can do what I want, of course, as long as it's in alignment with my values and what I'm wanting. But there's really no limit. You can do whatever the heck you want.
And I think it's really nice for people to hear that from you, because it could be easy to look at your, work and be like, oh, she's already successful and she's already made it. And like, someone's comparing your 20 to their 4, right? And it's like, actually, no matter where we are in our whatever version we are right now, we're always dealing with something. We're always working on something. And I think it's just a really good validation for people right now to know that, like, you're doing it right. It doesn't matter, actually, if it makes sense. You're being consistent. You're putting yourself out there. Cool.
Exactly.
Share your light. Share your gifts. Keep going.
Yeah. Consistency is key, really.
So key. And I think we touched on this, I don't know, before or after we hit record, about people who, they want to put they want to have, like, so many students come into QCA and, they'll start posting for a week and they're like, I'm not getting any discovery calls. It's been a week. What is your message to them?
Ooh, okay. This is a really good one. Well, because there are going to be different people, different ideal clients of yours that are on a different part of their journey. Some people are ready right now. And as soon as you put yourself out there, they're like, I want what she's got. I want that. Sign me up. Whereas some other people may not be fully aware that you can help them yet. So they need to know, like, what are you sharing? What value are you adding? What educational tips you have? What energy and vibe you've got? And it starts to, like, you need to create and nurture that relationship with them, which takes time. And it's going to be different for everyone, meaning it could be a week for someone. It could be 6 months. It could be a whole year before someone's like, I'm ready to sign up with this person. It took me a little while. I was in my own stuff in life, but now I see everything that you've been sharing and how consistent you are and how you're a reliable source of information that I can always come back to. And I'm ready to sign up now. So that's my advice there.
I love that. Like, that's real and that's relatable. And like, that's so true. And, coming from, you and I both taught fitness classes, yoga in person. And, in person, when you meet someone, the trust is almost immediate, right? Like you trust people faster when you meet them in person, as opposed to online. You're looking at someone through a screen, through a square, through you know what I mean? So it's like, takes a little bit longer, which is totally okay. But I love what you said about like nurturing them, and you're right. I've met people that have been like, okay, I saw what you posted. I literally found you yesterday. Like, sign me up. You know? And then some people, like you said, it has taken years for them to work with me.
Yes. And they needed to have all of that consistent information from you, and knowing that you are reliable in your industry and that they can always come to you for new information and what you're sharing, to know, okay, I trust them now.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think to add to that, I would say, like, when you show up as yourself. Because when people see you being you, when people see you being in your personality with your quirks and your weirdness and your coolness and whatever you are, and you're dancing, and like when I see your stories, I'm like, that's Danielle. And like, I love that, right? You're just so authentically you. And I hope that that's how I come across too. And I would say so many people kind of hide that part of themselves. And I would say, like, amplify that part of yourself.
100%. And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That 100%, because if we try to not be ourselves, and if we suppress who we are, it's going to be harder to show up. We're going to be always putting on a mask every time. And that could be a spiritual mask, an energy mask, physical mask, basically. And it really disempowers us. It makes us not feel confident in who we are. But if the moment that we can just break out of our shell and show the quirkiness, show the weirdness, people relate to that so much more than being so proper and being all perfect and everything and presentable. That's not as relatable, because that's not what human life is all the time.
I think you and I have gone through a big transformation individually in that realm. Because I used to want to show up and be like so perfect and put together all the time. And I think that you also showed up in that way of just like, really just like, I don't know. We just, I don't know. We just want to be liked, I guess. Right. And I'm speaking for you, but I'll speak for myself. But I have seen a huge transformation in myself, but also I feel like in you, in that realm. And I think it's actually changed everything for me when I made that transition of like, oh, they don't want perfect. Cool.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. And it feels more comfortable. We can feel more confident, and then we can just be ourselves. And oh my gosh, that's just so much more freeing.
Yeah. So much more freeing.
And I found that the weird part of me, or the silly part of me, or the fun part of me, that's what people love the most. So if you're hiding any of those weird, quirky things, like, stop hiding them, break through them, go through these 6 steps of awareness and figure out why you're hiding them, and step out, because we need you to be unapologetically you.
You can use these tools for all of it. And I think it's so great to do that work, because I do think that some people even are like, oh, well, I can't show up yet until I lose this weight, or, oh, until my acne clears up, or, oh, I can't show up until blah, 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 blah. But really doing that limiting belief work is going to help you break through that. And I found too, like when I used to not want to show up when I had a pimple. One time I had this huge pimple, like on my, like, I was like a unicorn. I was like crazy. And I just showed up anyway. I was like, hi, I'm a unicorn today. And I just called it out. And then I wanted to take down the video, but I disrupted it and I kept it up. And I was like, no, this is me, and it's safe for me to be seen. And that's it.
Yes. I'm so glad that you just showed up as you.
Yeah.
And just went for it anyway, and didn't take it down, because those limiting beliefs get stuck in there. Thinking like, we didn't address some of these, but like feeling that we're not worthy, or feeling like we're not pretty enough, or all that good stuff.
I know there's so much that we all hold. And here's the beautiful thing. Every single person on the planet has these beliefs. There's no one that gets away without having them. The people that are making the biggest impact and making the most money and having the most success are the ones that are just willing to do the work around them.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. The personal development side, the personal growth side is a big component.
Yeah. Tony Robbins will say like 80%. 80% of your business is your mindset, and 20% is the strategy. And I live by that. I really do. Even though it's tempting to get caught up in it otherwise, but like it's true. It's so true.
It is true, because you could give someone the 100% clear direction blueprint of starting their business, but if they don't address the thoughts of, oh, I don't know how to do this. Oh, I'm not good with technology. I'm not good with technology. Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, so is doing it already. There's no room for me. Then you're not going to be successful, because you're not going to actually do the work. You have to address the mindset to even put in forth the work and effort and the strategy.
You're right. If we all had the blueprint, we would all be bajillionaires. Right? Like we would just do the thing and then it would work and then we would have the thing. Yeah.
Right.
So Danielle, what makes you a badass manifester?
Ooh, oh, that's a good question. I would say my energy. My energy is high all the time. I have this. I recently had a couple friends mention this to me, like all around the same time. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. All of them gave me this amazing compliment saying, you are so positive all the time. Like, and you always have so much energy. You always have positive energy. Like you're always smiling. You always talk good about people. You never talk bad about people or anything. And I'm like, oh, I feel like, okay, that's like a superpower. That makes me a really badass manifester, because when you focus on the positive and you focus on the abundance and the gratitude and not the lack, that makes you a powerful manifester. Because if I focus on the lack of what I have in my life or what I want, but I don't have it now, that's a block for manifesting. So yeah, I think my positive energy and positive mindset makes me a badass manifester.
That's so beautiful. I would second that. I would third that. Yep, that's for sure. You are like such a cheerleader for everyone that you know. You always, always comment and share and like and just pump people up. And that is a superpower because you're just so giving in your energy. And it's really beautiful. Like in the mastermind too, like Danielle would be in 10 places at once. She would show up for everyone's live video, everyone's story, comment here, like there, show up here. I mean, I don't know how you do it. Like, I literally don't know how you do it, but it's pretty magical and I wouldn't change it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I really think it's my, I've said this a few times, but it's my Mars out of bounds in my astrological chart. And that gives me extra energy. And it says it in my chart. It says that you have way more energy than the average person. So I'm like, I'm going to use that.
Yes.
How can I use that?
Use it.
Yeah.
Use it for good bosses only, which is obviously what you're doing. So cool. So what would be your last words of wisdom for anyone listening who is working through their mindset to help empower them to like actually do the work? Because like a lot of people are going to listen to this and I want to say everyone's going to do the work, but let's be real. Most people will not. Click the link to your post, go look at the steps. You know what I mean? So what do you want to say to them?
I would say two things. One is that fears are the ultimate dream killer. Fears are the ultimate dream killer. Whatever fear you have is preventing you from making that dream happen. Mm-hmm. And the other side is don't be afraid to fail. Be more afraid to not even try.
Wow. I feel that in my soul.
Don't be afraid to fail. Be more afraid to not even try. Because if you don't even try, how would you know what's going to happen? You don't know.
That's so good. Thank you. That's beautiful. And where can everyone find you and connect with you and all the things?
So my website is danielleklein.com, and it's KLEIN. And my Instagram is @spiritualbizcoach. And Facebook, Spiritual Biz Coach.
Go follow her. She has an amazing mastermind. She has amazing content, incredible words of wisdom, and always, always adding value on her platform. So check her out and tag us and let us know what was your favorite part of the episode. Let us know if you're committed to doing the work, and really just, we want to know like what your biggest limiting belief is that you're working through right now. And if you DM us, we will help you work through it.
Yes. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, girl.
Mwah.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram @manifestwithash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.